Welcome to this small video about a small 3-stages reverse osmosis system. As you can see here, the unit is pretty clever made. There's 3 different. The 2 inline filters and the membrane houses are connected with clips, and this way you are quite flexible. We have here 3 containers. The one in the middle is a membrane housing containing a membrane. But before the water enters the membrane, goes into a sediment filter, which filters small stones and sand and similar things. Then the water is moving towards the carbon filter, which removes odor and taste stuffs. In these small 3 stages reverse osmosis systems, the sediment filter and the carbon filter are so-called inline filters, which means that the filter and the container is built in one unit. That means you use it once and throw it away. In contrast to the filter cartridges that are used in the larger filter housings. All depending where you are in the world and what the quality of the water is, these filters will last between, I guess, 2,000 and 5,000 liters. Finally, the water runs into the membrane housing via the lid of the membrane housing. Inside the membrane housing, something interesting is happening. I have tried to make some photos and find some pictures on the net. This first photo shows that end of the membrane where the water enters. That a membrane consists of several thin, semi-permeable films or plates. Because the very small holes, only the molecule that can pass is water. At the other end of the membrane, it looks like this. The wastewater comes out as I have shown on the picture. Pure reverse osmosis water comes out in the thin tube inside the membrane. If we look at the membrane housing from the outside, at the very end of the membrane housing, we see that the water comes out in 2 fittings. The pure water comes out at the fitting that is farthest away from the membrane lid. In this example with my unit, it comes out of the blue tube, and the wastewater comes out of the red tube. Not all units have red and blue tubes. Normally they just come with a white tube. Pure water always comes out of the fitting that is farthest away from the lid of the membrane housing. In order that the membrane works, there has to be a certain pressure inside the membrane housing. And here the flow restrictor comes into action. On the wastewater tube, the producer has put a so-called flow restrictor. The function of the flow restrictor is to limit the water flow through the wastewater tube, and thereby creating a counter pressure in the membrane housing, so it can produce the pure water. If the restrictor wasn't there, the water would run on the surface of the membrane, through the membrane housing, and nothing would happen. Now I changed to a video that I recorded in 2011. Here's a key for the lid of the membrane housing. It is used to unscrew the lid of the membrane housing. It can be very tight, and it is very nice to have this key to unscrew it maybe in 2 or 3 years. What I now show is very important, and it applies to all so-called quick fittings or push fittings, I've heard someone call it. Watch and listen careful because it's important. It's all about how to get a tube in and out of a fitting. First I remove the small blue plastic lock. I don't know what it's called in English really. Then I can push the small white ring towards or against the fitting, and this way I can withdraw the tube. Now I will show how you install or put the membrane into the membrane housing. The membrane is tested from the factory, and therefore Normally there are a few drops of water inside. The plastic, which is tight, I recommend to lubricate or use some fat or grease on the black O-rings. Then, as shown, you push the membrane into the membrane housing. There's no use to use so much force. Maybe at the very end where you can feel that it makes a small, let's call it a click. Think about how tight you make it, because one day you have to get it off again. In 3 years' time, probably you have to change the membrane. I push the tube into the fitting again. You can just feel it, and you cannot draw it out again, because there will be a resistance from the small white counter thing in the fitting. I attach the blue lock ring again. These clips can be used to attach the unit to a wall. You get 3-meter white tube or hose. You have to find out how you use those 3 meters. You need to get the pure water out, and you need to get the wastewater out. When you turn on the water for the first time, do not be surprised if you see some black stuff coming out. It's carbon dust from the carbon filter. It is quite okay. I recommend that you discard or throw out the first 1 or 2 liters. I also recommend, as I also normally write in the text, that you buy a TDS or EC meter, so you are able to measure how pure the reverse osmosis water is, and then you will know when to change filters and membrane. That means you have to measure just before the membrane and after the membrane. Every 3-4 months. And if you're using a mixed bed resin filter, you also have to measure after the membrane and after the resin filter to find out how good those things are working, and when it is time to change the resin filter. I have made a video about those 5 different meters, so you can find out which one you want. Below this video there's a link, otherwise look in the shop under digital meters and TDS meters. You can get water into the reverse osmosis water filter in 2 ways. This fitting that I show here, we in Denmark normally attached in our bathroom. Therefore, I have named it in Danish that way. It's 1/2 inch inside thread, and this fitting is included in the price. If you want to get the water from the faucet, you use the shown faucet adapter. I have a separate video about that one too. Normally, here in April 2016, this is not included in the price, but sometimes I sell these small 3 stages units including, so you have to watch the text. I cannot tell it here in the video. So that's it. Thank you for watching. End of video. Michael Mart for clean tap water and purified water. This was spoken in April 2016 in Denmark.